Hi Taurus, welcome into a brief next 48-hour tarot reading for you. We're going to jump right into the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck and see what the next 2 days and surrounding it looks like for you. They're describing you as a guidebook, somebody who guides other people, guides yourself, is definitely a leader in this life. Something about you as well, maybe looking into a guidebook physically, or looking to someone else who would be described as well, I want to say in a different way or just a similar way, but still different as a guidebook. Does that make sense? So guidance and more information, maybe remembrance moments, all very part of the next 48 for you. Very interesting beginning. Now, we have 2 that came out, but I feel the need to say this at the bottom of the deck is absolutely a main energy for you. You are going to find the next 48 is full of success. It's a time for you where you can't help but feel bold and courageous, but delicate and poised, but a little bit all over the place at certain points, maybe due to the past, due to energy, due to what's at hand, where you are, which is energy. But I feel there's a focus on an image for somebody where there were birds flying through, or maybe it was a blur in the imagery is what I'm getting. You could hear I started to say that by accident, but it was purposeful. The color white and the color yellow are significant. Purity and happiness, as well as purple being a representation of spiritual advancement and connection, but as well royalty. You're going to find there's a lot of noise in the next 48, but I don't see that it's necessarily going to bother you, at least not fully, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are coming through to remind you to have an immense amount of patience, because things are falling into place as they're meant to. Things are more abundant than they seem in the moment. There's reflecting on complaining from the past, whether it was yours and or 1 or 2 at most people in a situation for you. But embracing and flexibility. There's a sense of you being pushed to, and at certain points otherwise naturally embracing where you're at, certain imperfections, the twists and turns of your path. Feeling like you just have to be flexible in the next 48 in regards to when you get things done, in regards to when to connect with somebody is what I'm getting. As far as transportation goes, say traffic coming into play for some, when it comes to crossing the street is what I'm getting specifically, but as well for somebody, public transportation. I guarantee that's going to be, part of it for me. But I do feel as if you have a solid routine or 2. I'm hearing schedule that's very beneficial for you. It's smooth, it's reliable, but then that will naturally highlight, or at least should highlight, where there needs to be adjustments as far as another routine or 2 or several. A schedule that hasn't been benefiting you for a while, or maybe from the beginning when you implemented it. That was a lot of energy. But stand still. It feels like there's a nice balance in the next 48 for you between action-oriented success, accomplishments, migrating even, for some taking care of yourself is wrapped up into that. And then, combining those kind of Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands ways of being with some standstill moments. I can't help but feel like I just need to stand still right now, or sit still and just be, okay? The stillness will benefit you in more than one way, and I guarantee you won't be realizing how all of which, you won't be realizing in the moment all of those benefits. But there may be a focus on a situation, like say a connection, for example, regardless of how long you guys have known each other or how long you connected for. There's a standstill in between the 2 of you. Just know that if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, Taurus. So you know this. But then there's it's like the one way that you do it at times without meaning to, want to, or choose to force it in this lifetime along your path is in regards to something of the sort where your intuition's telling you to let it go, or just to reach out and see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? While not forcing it, of course. But more so needing to, I feel in the next 48 and surrounding it, trust the standstill in regards to that connection. Or it could be when it comes to not having the acquiring of an employment opportunity. But I truly feel like you are going to remember the purpose of all still moments, processes in your life, as well as the successes, naturally, given we had that card on the board. I want to pull that back out. Okay, well, it's now lost on the deck. Adventures. I feel they're saying when you decide to, or just naturally find yourself going on an adventure in the next 48, I heard an adventure too, enlightenment will come to be. You know how you go for a stroll to somewhere new or just to revisit somewhere, and you, or drive somewhere, and then you remember something of importance, something just becomes more clear for you. It's a great time for spirit to have you out of your head or out of your accomplishing state of being, a successful way of being, and therefore they can communicate with you in one, if not multiple different ways, different forms, much more smoothly and efficiently. Let's move on to some tarot. What else do we have for Taurus? The Four of Wands and the High Priestess. Magical, spiritual, and intuitive evidence coming through that things are falling into place, that there's, again, beneficial structure, but then maybe you're meant to think back to, for some, structure from the past, routines from the past, or one in particular that you let go of, that you no longer could or chose to continue with, utilize. And they're saying, well, things are different now. You know what I mean? Whether that situation or two is out of your life, or you're just a different version of yourself, both, you name it. And so now maybe in a different way or the same exact way, let's re-implement that structure, strategy, routine, if you will. And I sense that it's going to benefit you greatly. But close your eyes and let us give you a vision is now what I'm getting. Close your eyes and get some rest, Taurus. I feel you're exhausted, you're tired. For me, tomorrow is the first of the 2 days I'm speaking upon, and I have Taurus in my chart, and it's going to be yet again another busy day at my serving job. And so what do I expect after such a lucrative, busy, stressful shift? I'm going to be tired, you know what I mean? And then outside of that, I choose to just be a busybody and, do this and that of importance and otherwise. And so there's something like that for you, regardless of what you have or you will have on your plate, you know what I mean? Some of which you obviously don't expect. But it's a 2-day period and surrounding it where they're saying, we may even give you some of this energy, imagery, message, confirmation, reminders, when you're feeling the push to more so, the need to more so rest. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody is coming through a dream or two, even if it's a daydream. Now, again, I feel like that ties back into the fact that when you're so busy and constantly going, doing, even though I feel a lot of the time it doesn't feel like you have another choice, it's a lot harder for spirit to come through and get the messages digested within you to the fullest extent. Even at times you may hear it, digest it, you may write it down, but then you're not actually grasping and fully ready to or choosing to utilize that now or more so in the near future. You know what I'm saying? I'm now hearing music to my ears. Music to my ears. And I feel the music that you create in your life, figuratively or more literally, is definitely part of this time for you. I wouldn't be surprised if songs, music is a part of this time for you, needing to maybe get reconnected with it and its benefits, how it speaks to and heals and develops your soul, but some of which might be creating actual music. I would not be surprised. There's also someone in your midst who feels the need to sing. There's one of my coworkers, I often work with him on the weekends. He is a server as well. I'm sorry, he's not, and I do tell him this, you're not talented in this department, but you just choose to sing. And he does it to be goofy and to make us laugh and to, get through the stressful times. And it's just, I enjoy it for the most part. It's just this, oh my God, he's singing again kind of moment. It's something like that for you, where it's goofy, it's even healing, it's ridiculous. King of Swords to shift on forward. You are so advanced and wise at this point along your path, being part of the reason why this High Priestess came out, within your reading. There's a sense of you shining bright throughout the next 48 in general, even in moments of overly serious accomplishing and connecting and migrating and whatnot, even healing. But you're shining in regards to your intuition, okay? This leaves you being viewed at, perceived, and whatnot as one of the wisest owls in the world, all right? Somebody who can do no wrong when they trust their intuition first and foremost, but then secondly, intertwining that with or connecting that to selective digesting of what spirit has to say, knowing that not every spirit coming through is going to be truthful or have your back, but your intuition will never lie to you. The Five of Pentacles, the Fool card, and the Six of Wands, some of which might be thinking about lack, all right? Knowing or needing to remember that you'll gain what you're meant to, even if, say, that's a leap of faith, more victory, more money, you name it, maybe a loved one, a soulmate you wish to meet or reconnect with or commit to further. It'll happen when it's meant to, I sense that this is not the time for necessarily securing all of which, or that opportunity or two that you're thinking about not having. I do also sense there's a highlighting of where you leaped towards in the past and who you didn't fit in with, or what situation you didn't fit in with, and how there was victory in the midst of which, to an extent, or at certain points, but there's more so victory after the fact because you chose to not allow that to go past a certain point or two. You know what I mean? And so I feel the next 48 reminds you that change does lie ahead, all right? You're going to be feeling a flow in regards to the victory that you are achieving in the next 48 specifically. 1151 and 1154, look up those angel number meanings, and 1616. You may need to adjust your perspective with the Hanged Man here, because I feel there's maybe a little bit of pessimism being seeped into your perspective. You may be an empath like myself, maybe an old habit of yours. I feel at least part of it, it's somewhat, if not fully valid, due to the past, right? Regardless of how far back that was for you. But they're saying an adjustment in perspective is going to change the outcome, change the energy for you and other people for that situation. But I also sense there's times where you do have the right mindset, the right perspective, the right approach, and that's leaving you with more victory. It's leaving you with more beneficial structure, things falling into place more, and spirit being able to come through and get to you that much easier once again. Let's keep pulling. The Six of Cups, I feel you are doing some significant reflecting. There's gifting taking place, but you're finding that the next 48 also shows you evidence that every chapter up until this point has been extremely purposeful. Not the first time I've mentioned that in a Taurus reading, but think about how far you've come. Think about how far you've come, my friend, because I feel you've been through so much, rewinding back that, it held purpose to an extent, if not fully, but you have advanced once again so much. I feel that might be part of the name for this reading, that things are going to feel more so easy for you, okay? Things are going to feel lighter, healthier, like once again, they're falling into place like music to your ears. Four of Swords in reverse is a combination, all right? Times of not resting, times of forgetting how protected you are, times of being reminded how protected you are, and times of rest, all right? I wouldn't be surprised in the moments where you're resting, even reviewing your work of some sort for somebody. That's when the reminder of protection to the furthest extent comes through for you. I feel you want to protect certain aspects of your life, your future, to the best of your ability, and you know how to do that at this point. Just think about it simplistically, okay? Trust your intuition, all the meanwhile. We follow is what I just heard. Again, going back to the beginning of this reading, you're a guidebook, you're a leader, and you may be thinking back to when you were more so of a follower, in certain ways, certain areas of your life, or in general. To wrap up this reading, They're saying the change, the development continues within and outside of you. They are reminding you that you are this leader that we all need and even want to follow and be inspired by. You're going to find that this is a very successful next 48, where you are being shown the way. You are gaining, again, victory, as they're saying things are falling into place. Okay, you are one advanced soul. All right, so I hope this was truly helpful. A ton of love and light. Until the next time we read, Taurus, do take care.